Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're talking how zero tolerance has gone bye-bye and what the ATF should do next. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Let's start the show, folks.
It's afraid. It's afraid!
Hey folks, before you go, check out my friends at Dead Air Silencers. Thanks for making this video possible, folks. Mike, Nick, the rest of the crew over there. We love you guys. And the Sandman X is kicking butt. Of course it is, because it's a Sandman setting the standard for suppressors for 10 years now. Thank you to Dead Air and their support of this channel. Make sure to check out deadairsilencers.com for more. Hey folks, I know you're watching the video, but I wanted to tell you guys about this chance for you guys, our subscribers and our friends, to help support the channel. We've partnered with fanofthem.com, a veteran-owned organization which we absolutely support, to bring you guys a chance to win the Zev Heartbreaker. Yeah, you guys heard me right. $3,200 pistol. We're just casually giving it away. All you got to do is click the link down in the description. Go to fanofthem.com/Tundra Tactical. Buy a limited edition collectible. That's harder than you think it is to say. Or digital downloads too. And you can get some cool merch. Not only that, but a chance to win the Heartbreaker as well. Seriously, it's the greatest giveaway of all time, at least in the Tundra Nation's history, folks. Go check out fanofthem.com. Veteran-owned business. What better way to support them than to support us too? 2 for 1 Heartbreaker, and well, there's going to be one lucky fan very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, zero tolerance, and the policy that we've hated all since the start of COVID here. I can't remember exactly the date that it was put into effect, but it has been the bane of my existence in the firearms world for the last 4+ years of my professional career. And I would love to tell you why. Before I took on the role of full-time content creator on YouTube, well before I switched on over to Rumble here, I worked at a little firearms retailer, small hole-in-the-wall mom-and-pop shop called Cabela's. And I worked as a quote-unquote compliance officer. I hated that term, but my job was to effectively maintain the bound book, among other things, stocking shelves and things like that. But that was the big responsibility, was maintaining the bound book. And if you don't know what a bound book is, it is an FFL, a federal firearms licensee's way of tracking all of their firearms that they have acquired and gotten rid of, aka disposed of, throughout the process of their day. Updated and kept pretty much every day as inventory or stock changes, as guns go in and guns come out even. And as you can imagine with Cabela's, oh boy, that is not an insignificant task. There would be consistently days where we'd have 100+ guns come in, sometimes more, sometimes less. But I don't know, if I had to guess, it would average in the realm of like 60 to 70 guns every single day, probably coming into the store. And I don't know, 30 to 40 guns going out every single day on like an average day. As I'm thinking back to it, I'm trying to remember just like an average between the best of times and the worst of times. It was the best of times, and then it was fucking COVID. God damn, dude. I hated COVID so much as a gun store employee. And I was during the start of it. When it all kicked off, I was put in charge of the bound book pretty much by myself. First of all, I am a walking retard. I am literally a barely functional adult on 2 legs. I mean this with a little bit of hyperbole, but I was very nervous because this policy had pretty much just kicked in, if I remember my times correctly. If not, it had kicked in shortly thereafter while I was working. Effectively what it did is it put a massive burden on me to make sure every single thing is perfect. Now, 3 to 5 to 27 minutes into the video, I'm going to tell you what zero tolerance is. In effect, what this means is if you make a single mistake, the ATF can hammer you out of existence as an FFL. Now, once again, I don't know if you know the name Cabela's. You might not, but I'm gonna go ahead and wager a guess. I put my money in Vegas on most of you knowing what Cabela's is at this point. Not an insignificant store, and I already told you the volume of guns going in and out. It's pretty high. So during COVID, when there is a literal store there's a literal line going around the fucking store, Because they're not there to buy boats, ladies and gentlemen. There's a line going around the store, and they're not showing up for an ATV and a fishing lesson. I'll tell you that right now. Every single one of them was coming to buy a gun. So during those days when we had hundreds and hundreds of people waiting and potentially hundreds and hundreds of guns going out or coming in, it was on me and one other person for a little while, and then they quit, and then it was solely on me to maintain this bound book to a perfect 100% level accuracy. The amount of time and effort and waste, absolute waste, that went into maintaining this perfection, the amount of burden put onto the business and onto the customer. If this was a smaller organization, it's no wonder. Like every every 4473 that we ever even touched had to go through my eyes, had to go through my boss's eyes, had to go through his boss's eyes and their boss's eyes, and then we all had to once a week get into a room and all go back through them all together again just to make sure that there were no mistakes. And the amount of man hours that were wasted on processes like that was insane. Now, with the effect of digital forums, because this was back in before digital forums were a thing, for us at least, it was, you obviously have to like hold yourself to a standard and maintain a level of acceptable accuracy. But it used to be that the ATF, when they would audit you and they'd find these mistakes, if you can believe it, they'd actually work with you and they'd help you identify trends as long as there was nothing like turbo illegal obvious happening, in the background. They'd be like, all right, you fucked up. Maybe we'll write you a ticket or something. Here's how you do it. Here's how you fix it. Here's how you get better. This is how we suggest da-da-da-da-da. Now they're taking the YouTube approach and just fucking hammering you into next week with the strike saying, get the fuck on, bud. And we're not even going to tell you what you fucked up. It sucked. Eventually I just walked out. And I've just couldn't do it anymore. That's pretty much what I did. So I said goodbye to Cabela's and I moved on from the firearms operations life and bound book life. But I look back on that, I'm very happy that I got to experience it in a non-damaging way to myself. And very fortunately, I am happy to say that we survived an audit, and we survived with I think I was never told anything got fucked up. So I'm assuming 100% accuracy. I am really fucking pumped that this is going away. This has needlessly punished people and smaller FFLs for way too long. Now, I've spent the last 20 fucking minutes telling you a story all about me, but this is the real effect. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of FFLs. There's something like thousands and thousands of percents of increase of FFL closures under the Biden administration. All of these people that have been affected, what happens to them now? Because they should all fucking get together and sue the shit out of the fucking government if they don't get anything back from this.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
They were punished needlessly. They were targeted discriminately, and they were pushed out of business illegally, in my opinion. There should be something done for these folks. Guys, if you want to build the 2A community into the rock solid foundation that you want the conservative party that claims to represent the 2A community, if you want that strong foundation, help a brother out. Like, get these guys back up on their feet. Do something for the FFLs and all the customers that were affected. Well, maybe not the customers, but you get it. Like the FFLs that were shut down and affected, people's livelihoods that were yanked out from under them. I know how that goes because YouTube just fucking did it to me. That sucks. And on a scale of owning an entire shop with inventory and everything else, I could only freaking imagine how like brutalizing that would have had to have been for the people affected by it. Bottom line here is zero tolerance has fucked up a lot of Americans' lives. And in a needless fashion, it was a vindictive and discriminatory thing that the Biden administration did to punish law-abiding American citizens. In a vast majority of these cases, every statistical percentage indicated that these people were not acting in bad faith. They were not conducting bad activities. They were not doing illegal shit. None of that stuff. They just made an honest working error, a clerical error. Forgetting to literally dot an I can cause this, and I'm dead serious. People have been shut down for that shit. How? In what way is that not like hyper aggressively lawfaring an entire voter base into oblivion. They can't come after your guns specifically, so they're going to come after the fucking businesses that sell you your guns. Ugh. Such a scummy and disgusting thing. I'm happy to see that it's gone, but we've got bigger and badder fish to fry. This is just a, like I said, stroke of a pen thing. We shouldn't, as the community, award more points than this warrants. It is a nice thing, definitely, along with the 2A task force and the 2A czar that's coming down the pipe that we're hoping to see. The scale or the needle is moving in the right direction. Let's maintain that momentum and get to the bigger fish. These stroke of the pen issues are not going to do it for the community in the long term, and we need the administration to remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, all gun laws are gay, and the ATF, all gun laws are gay, and the ATF is an infringement. Get the fuck out of here. It still works, though. It still fucking works. That should be the Tundra thing. All gun laws are gay, and the ATF is infringements. Goodbye.
Go away, Boyden.